Anita of my Duke and I podcast, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a splendid day. And if you're seeing this show for the very first time and you like the show, please subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell so when an episode comes out, you'll be the first to know. Guys, I'm sincerely sorry that I was unable to bring the live show to you. I was having technical difficulties. I don't know if you guys remembered when I had that live show when Prince Harry released his book, Spare. We had a lot of trolls in the live that were disruptive, and I didn't want to have another situation like this again. And if you guys recall also, I struggled with the software that was able to present me as well as my slides, those images. So if you guys know of an app that I could use, please drop it in the comments. Or if you've seen a video of how to use the OBE software, please drop it in the comment so that I could look at it closer, because I definitely want to do more lives. I don't want to chicken out because of my lack of knowledge of how to use it. The irony here is that I can build websites. I could literally do anything when it comes to making a video and so on, but I have not mastered this app. And although I delved into it the last time, it was in January, and then I came to use it today, and I'm realizing that I really don't remember anything about it. What is, there's this saying, out of sight, out of mind. So that is the situation here. So once again, please accept my apology. I really appreciate your time, and I don't want to take you guys for granted. So anyways, let's move on to the show that I had planned today. So I really want to start off with what is unconscious biases. And I have a definition here. So unconscious biases are certain stereotypes and prejudices that people have towards others without being aware of them. So what we're understanding here is that this is a universal thing. It is not particular to any ethnic group or any race whatsoever. Everybody that is existing in this world have some type of unconscious bias that they are unaware of. Now, I could give you guys some experiences that my children has told me about that they've experienced. So my sons are very tall boys and so on, and they have said to me that they would be walking down the street and all of a sudden somebody sees them, and that person would go on the other side of the street, to avoid them, thinking that they're going to do something to them. They've also told me they've had instances where people would have their purse or their bags, and they would clutch that bag tightly underneath their arms because they were concerned that one of them would snatch the bag or their purse and run off with it. So those biases could have come from, say, something that they saw on television, something they read in a book, or even their own experiences, or something that somebody has told them. So as I said again, that unconscious biases is a universal thing. It is not specific to any race or ethnic groups. It is just something that we tend to have within us, and then at times we project it onto other people and make that person feel uncomfortable. Okay? And there's several different types of biases. Okay? So having said this, let us move on to the contents of the article that was written over the weekend, as well as the contents of Megan's letter. Now, some people may be asking about what article. So it was an article written in the Telegraph by this royal correspondent. And let us just, delve into what we knew thus far. So apparently, Charles, upon seeing the Oprah interview with Harry and Meghan, he wrote Meghan a letter expressing his sadness over the conflict between the Sussexes and members of the royal family. Now, another thing that we also know is that when that individual raised concerns about Archie's skin color, it apparently both of them agreed that it was not coming from a malicious place. As I said, it was their unconscious bias that was surfacing. And as the definition says, somebody's unconscious bias is something that is within them that they are unaware of. So that was the agreement between Meghan and Charles. We also know that Meghan apparently indicated who the senior member of the royal family that made that statement. We also know that, well, there was correspondence between the two of them. So one of the things I think that the Telegraph article was dishonest about is their alluding to the fact that Meghan's decision about going to the coronation was based off her unsatisfactory response about the unconscious biases or unconscious bias that she expressed to Charles. She did not get a satisfactory response. That is what the Telegraph reported. Now, and they also mentioned that where the way also part of it was the way that the royal family responded to the bullying allegations, as well as Meghan's request for help when she had suicidal ideation. So they used those 3 points to determine that that was the deciding factor for which Meghan decided or declined the invitation to Charles's coronation. And I think that was a lie on their part, because Meghan's team responded by saying the Duchess of Sussex is going about her life in the present, not thinking about correspondence from 2 years ago related to conversations from 4 years ago. Any suggestion otherwise is false and frankly ridiculous. We encourage tabloid media and various royal correspondents to stop the exhausting circus that they alone are creating. So essentially what Meghan is saying, that whatever decisions that she is making presently, or the life that she is living presently, is not a determining factor of things that occurred 4 years ago, or a letter that was sent out 2 years ago. So it seems like the Telegraph and Victoria Ward is fabricating these stories. They're not factual. And I know that a lot of people this week is going to talk about how dare Meghan and Harry is talking about they're not living in the past, they're living in the present. They're living in the present. What they're going to say is that, and I have seen it in an article, they're going to say that Meghan and Harry has some audacity to talk about they're living in the present when they have done a docu-series where they recounted things that happened to them in the royal family, which was in the past, and Harry has written a book that he recounted of things that happened to him in the past. So that is what they're going to use to leverage against Harry and Meghan this week, and I guarantee you That's what they're going to be saying, because I saw an article that is saying that right now. If somebody is writing their memoir, which is something that a lot of people have done. A memoir is things that has happened to you. A memoir is your life experience, and in a memoir you recount those life experiences. So Harry was just simply recounting his life experiences in his book. He cannot talk about the future because it has not happened. He can only talk about his past in a memoir. Memoir is what you remember. Now, in the docu-series that Harry and Meghan had, to their defense, they're talking about their experiences. In a docu-series, it goes back into your life, your lived experiences. So they have to talk about that. So for anybody to call Harry and Meghan hypocritical in terms of saying that they don't want to go into the past, but they do not, their argument is really ridiculous. And I expect this is what they're going to be saying in the few days to come, because it's already started. Now, Valentine Lowe, who has written a book, and a lot of the information in the book was surrounded around Harry and Meghan and the time that they spent in the United Kingdom in the royal family. And he had a lot of sources, he claimed, that expressed certain things to him. Now, it makes me wonder now, or even confirm what I was thinking when I did that video about Valentine Lowe, because he came out once that article came out in the Telegraph and said that the contents of the letter that the Telegraph had was leaked by no other than the Sussex camp. Sorry, my nails is a little bad. I tried to polish it and I did it bad, sorry. But anyways, he tried to say that it was the Sussexes that leaked that information. And it was not true, because just after saying that, Valentine Lowe had to apologize on Twitter, saying, given that legal letters have been sent by the Sussexes lawyers as well as the Palaces since the story was published, it seems I was wrong in assuming that it came from the Sussex camp. Sorry to all about that, but even more intriguing. So I am thinking that everything, as I've stated in the past, that Valentine Lowe had written in his book, they were all fabricated. He was lying. He didn't have those sources, and he was just making up stories, just as how he made up this story about Meghan. These people, they always put their foot in their mouth so that the truth can be surfaced, and this is one situation. So we cannot trust anything that Valentine Lowe is saying. He seems to be a habitual liar, and to me, once a liar is always going to be a liar. I said it in the past and I'm saying it again. We caught him. We caught him lying and making up stories. And he quickly apologized because he thought that the Sussexes were going to put him on notice. So he went ahead and apologized to the public. He still should be dragged because he has caused a lot of noise around the Sussexes with his book. He literally used the Sussexes and the names of the members of the royal family to spread lies about, Harry and Meghan. Now, I'm laughing there because I was looking at this slide, and it's just a little funny tidbit. Somebody posted on Twitter of when they went into a store they saw a sign saying, let's celebrate the king's coronation. And that sign was next to some tampons. I guess Camilla and Charles is never going to able to, put this whole tampon gate thing to rest. It's going to follow them for the rest of their lives. Okay, so that was funny. So that's what that made me laugh. Now, speaking of Charles and Camilla, it seems like Scotland is going to have a mini coronation for them. So it's going to be a service for them, and they're going to be presented with honors. I am a little shocked that Scotland is doing that, because they've tried on several occasions to become independent of the monarchy. I think they had a referendum not too long ago, and they're trying to pass another referendum to become independent of the monarchy. They do not want to be a sovereign state of the monarchy. So that is a little bit surprising here for me, that they would go out of their way to have a mini coronation for Charles and Camilla. Now, it seems like also that that coronation is shaping up to be a family affair, because I heard that Camilla's ex-husband, Andrew Parker Bowles, is also going to be in attendance, as well as her sister. That's going to be one of the ladies that is going to be looking after her during the coronation. And we know that 4 of her grandchildren are going to be pages in the coronation. So it's interesting that Camilla is gradually easing in her family into the royal family, and they're getting these prominent positions during the coronation. So I guess one of the things also too that I had read, in researching about this royal family and the mess that they are, that Andrew had no feelings towards another man taking his wife, which is Camilla. Okay, he literally allowed it to happen. Every other man would stand up and be, or literally be upset or offended. Now, I had seen these quotes and I just thought they were very funny, and I would share them with you guys. So it said here that they are joined at the hip, Andrew and Andrew Parker Bowles I'm talking about, and Camilla, they joined at the hip. So, I'm under the assumption that, and that would make me think that whatever benefits that Camilla would get into marrying Charles would also trickle down to Andrew Parker Bowles. That is my take on things. This is crazy. That is literally selling your soul. Now, there was another quote that said that Andrew was always and still is Camilla's co-conspirator. So literally, he literally helped her or pushed her along in the direction of Charles. That is some real Sodom and Gomorrah nonsense. Now, the last quote here that I had seen somewhere, it says here, it is said that an English gentleman will always lay down his wife for his country, and this was certainly true in the case of Andrew Parker Bowles. So he literally moved aside and allowed King Charles, or quote unquote King Charles, to have his wife. Wow, this is what these people in England is writing about. It doesn't get any more low than this. Anyways, now this Andrew, it seems like he loves the limelight. I'm talking about Andrew Parker Bowles. He loves the limelight because he was there during he attended Diana's wedding. I think he was a commanding officer, and he was during the carriage ride with Charles and Diana, Andrew was escorting their carriage. And he must have, envied that. And even if it means turning over his wife to have that experience, he was going to do it. That's my impression from that. And he was also there during the time that Camilla was married in 2005 to Charles. So this man, I don't know. That must be voyeurism. Do you guys know what that means? That is some sick thing. But anyways, also to Camillas, as I said, it's a family affair. I don't know if Tom Parker is going, but I do know that, Andrew Parker Bowles is going to be there, as well as her sister and her 4 grandchildren. But Tom did come to her defense recently. He was on this podcast called on the News Agents podcast, and so they asked him if his mother's end game was to become queen, and he said that was not her end game. So I also had a thought too that this guy works for the Sun. He's a food critic for the Sun publication, or the Sun newspaper, and I'm betting that some of the information that is leaked out there comes from Camilla, most likely, probably, to him, and then what he does is probably pass it on. I don't know. This is just a theory that I have. It could be. So it's just interesting that Camilla has positioned herself where she's gradually pushing or putting her family in front. And it is not going to be just, Kate, William, those great-grandchildren and grandchildren of, our late queen. It's going to be also the Packables as well, whatever their names are, because gradually that is what she's doing. Now, speaking of the late queen, we also saw this picture with those grandchildren and the great-grandchildren of the queen. I think they took that picture, or it was said that they took that picture during the summer, just before the queen passed. And for some people that are looking at these pictures, not these pictures, this picture, they may be saying, wow, this is a lovely picture, or it's something special. But this is something that they've been doing for a long time, taking out pictures, I think in the summertime, with the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren of the queen. There are countless pictures that we can see like this of the queen with the great-grand and the grandchildren. And so this is a tradition. They said that this latest one, it was Kate that took it. Now, I guess they have their little tradition and they want to keep it going. I just hope that there's a picture out there, as I expressed the last time, with Archie and Lily, so that one day they could, have stories to tell about, their great-grandmother. So I just hope that those pictures exist, and it would not be anything to put past, the Waleses to ensure that it was, their own people that always had a picture with the queen. It wouldn't. I think that, it could be something that, they really wanted to keep that way, and to prevent the Sussexes from having any pictures taken with Archie and Lily. We remember there was a big thing about the fact that they had stopped Harry and Meghan from taking any photos with the queen. So who knows, that could really be something that they were behind. And speaking of birthdays, we had Louie's birthday and today, And you, Louie is Louie is troublesome. Let's just put it that way. And he's, he commands your attention. Louie commands your attention. And I don't have anything bad to say about any child. It would go against everything that I stand for. One, and two, I'm an educator. I do not speak ill about children, and we have all types of children. We have all types of personalities, and we have all different ways. We have children that are overt, we have children that very quiet, and so on. So I'm not going to say anything bad about him other than to say happy birthday to Louie. Okay, so yes, that's all for now. Thank you guys so much, and once again, I am very, very sorry for what happened. I just have to get on with, mastering this software. And once again, I said, if you guys know of, another software, or if you have a video of how to use OBE, that is very good, or if you have a software and that you can recommend to me, you could put it in the comments, and I will definitely look into it. By the way, I read the comments. I may not have time to respond to every one of them, because sometimes it could be a lot of comments, and I don't have time to respond to every one of them, but I do see you, to hear you. I want you guys to know that. And guys, I noticed that I have passed the 8,000 subscribers. I want to thank you guys for your constant support of this channel. Once again, I said initially that this channel was created to defend and to put out the truth out there about the Sussexes and to amplify their causes. If you notice, when there's something going on with the Sussexes, I spend time by making a video and letting people know exactly what it is. I truly believe in the Sussexes, and I thank you guys for your support, and I thank you guys for listening to me and spreading the word around, because we will not sit by and let people slander or falsely make up stories, as what was in the Telegraph over the weekend about the Sussexes. We will put it out there. And a lot of people might say this is not how you go about it, and for us to be quiet, but I have heard that many times in the past, and the Sussexes has proven over and over again that what we have been saying has been correct, and they've voiced their opinions, and I'm going to use them as my guide. How, when they say stop talking about the royal family, when they tell us stop talking, that's when I'm going to stop talking. But as long as they haven't told us that, I am going to continue putting the truth forward and to put people on blast who are maliciously going after the Sussexes. I am telling you, if it wasn't for the Sussex squad, people would have, ammunition to literally, or to go over to, I'm mixing this up. People would literally feel free or be emboldened or empowered to say anything about the Sussexes and feel that they could get away with it. But because they know people like me and you guys are watching, they think twice sometimes about it, and sometimes they just do whatever they want to do. But just imagine if we weren't watching them, the magnitude of the noise and the slandering and the smear campaign. Imagine the magnitude of what it would have been like. Just imagine. So I am going to be here doing this as long as I have health and strength, because sometimes in life there are some people that are called to do certain things, and I feel like it is my calling to stand up for the truth. And everybody has their part to play, and I feel like this is my part to play on this journey in my life. Okay, so I I'm getting too philosophical with you guys right now. So anyways, take care and bye for now. I would show you guys my hand, but my nail polish was a mess, so I'm not even going to do it. Bye. Look at my hand, it's a mess. I don't know who told me. I'm sitting here all sad about the fact that I cannot do the live, and I started polishing my nails, and before you know it, I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it, and I made a mess of it. So anyways, having said all of that, thank you guys so much for always being there. I am truly appreciative, and once again, I am very sorry for inconveniencing anybody. Bye.